What's up, friends, fellow card collectors? Card Obvious here, and today we're going to be doing a video response for RJ Collect Sets. RJ Collect Sets is doing a 200 subscriber celebration / giveaway. I'll have a link to his giveaway video in the description below. Definitely head over there, give the video a watch, and drop him a sub if you can. And yeah, so what RJ Collect Sets wants us to do is come up with a lineup for our favorite baseball team or top 10 favorite players from any sports team. But I'm going to go ahead and do a lineup for the Braves since the Braves are my favorite team. Yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So starting off for pitcher, this was kind of a tough choice because there was a few pitchers I could have picked. Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox, you know, the big three from the 90s. Also had Phil Niekro in there, but I'm going to go with Warren Spahn. Warren Spahn's a Hall of Famer, 363 career wins, huge amount of wins, 17-time All-Star. I mean, you make the All-Star game 17 times, you're a legend. So, yeah, Warren Spahn's going to be my choice for pitcher. Another fact about Warren Spahn, he clocked 35 home runs in his career, so a little pop in the bat there for a pitcher. But yeah, Warren Spahn is my choice for pitcher. All right, moving on to position 2, which is catcher. Some other choices, runners up, I should say. Javi Lopez was one. Brian McCann was my other runner up. I know some Braves fans might pick Brian McCann in this spot, but I'm actually going to go with Joe Torre. Joe Torre is in the Hall of Fame, of course, for being a manager, not as a player. But Joe Torre did win an MVP as a Cardinal. It wasn't a Brave, but he did win an MVP as a player. Was also a 9-time All-Star, very, very solid catcher. Played first base later in his career. I think a little third base too, but when he was with the Braves in the 60s, he was mainly a catcher, and a pretty good catcher at that. So I'm going to go with Joe Torre as my choice for catcher in this lineup. At first base, the Braves really haven't had a whole lot of great first basemen. Fred McGriff was there for a few years in the 90s, really good when he was on the Braves. Fred McGriff was great on pretty much every team he was ever on. Definitely should be in the Hall of Fame in my opinion. But Fred McGriff's not my choice. My choice is the current, or at least current up until the end of last year, Freddie Freeman, who may be a free agent. We'll see how it shakes out once the whole lockout thing is over. But yeah, Freddie Freeman is my choice for first base. 5-time All-Star, was won an MVP, 3-time Silver Slugger. Definitely the heart and soul of the current Braves team. I would really hate to see him wearing another uniform. I really hope he signs back with the Braves. But I also hope on top of that, like the whole lockout thing ends so we can get back to baseball. You know, it's February and the players and owners are in lockout right now, which is really dumb. And yeah, so there's a chance we'll have delayed baseball this year if we have baseball at all. And yeah, Freddie Freeman's one of those free agents that's just kind of in limbo right now because contracts can't be negotiated. But either way, Freddie Freeman is my choice for first base. Second base, I'm also going to go with another current Brave. Second base has been kind of a not so good position for the Braves over the years. They've had some good ones, but I'm going to go with Ozzie Albies for second base. Currently one of my favorite Braves to watch all the time. He's always hustling, especially on defense. You know, when he's running the bases, the helmet goes flying off half the time. He knocks it off his own head while he's running. But yeah, just love Ozzie Albies. Little guy, smaller guy. He's got some pop in the bat. Usually hits in the 280s area. And I think if actually quit trying to hit so many home runs, he'd probably be a perennial 300 hitter. I think he has that ability. Really good defensive second baseman. Actually came up through the minors as a shortstop, but is pretty good out there at second base. 2-time All-Star already, 2-time Silver Slugger, still really young. Ozzie Albies is my choice for second base for this Braves lineup. All right, moving on to position 5, third base. There was a couple players this could have been, but I'm going to go with Chipper Jones, of course. I became a Braves fan in 1991 when the Braves went from worst to first. That was the year I moved to Georgia. And yeah, all the hype was on Chipper Jones, you know, about this young phenom that was in their farm system. There was a lot of hype around Chipper Jones coming up, and it was well deserved. I mean, he was a Hall of Famer, turned out to be a lifelong Brave, spent his whole career in Atlanta, and definitely put up the numbers to be a Hall of Famer. Won an MVP one year, 8-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, hit over 400 home runs, maintained a 300 batting average his whole career, and a switch hitter. One of the top switch hitters of all time as far as, balance. There's been other switch hitters that have had probably better careers than Chipper Jones, but, Chipper Jones played for such a long time, and to be able to maintain 300 average over that span is not the easiest thing to do. So Chipper Jones is my choice for third base. Moving on to position 6, shortstop. This one may come as a surprise to some people because he really didn't play in Atlanta all that long. We've had a few good shortstops. Jeff Blauser was solid for a number of years. Jeff Blauser was a good offensive shortstop. Rafael Furcal, really good shortstop. Dude had a cannon for an arm. But yeah, my choice is a player that I think only played 4 seasons with the Braves, but is one of the best defensive shortstops I ever watched. His 4 seasons with the Braves were an amazing thing to watch as far as defensive playmaking, and that was Andrelton Simmons, who is my choice for shortstop. Simba, as he was called, was a fan favorite, loved. I was really sad to see him get traded when the Braves went into their rebuild. Never did much with a bat here in Atlanta, but won 4 Gold Gloves in his career. I think 3 in Atlanta, maybe 4 in Atlanta. Probably 3 in Atlanta. I think he won 1 for the Angels too. But yeah, definitely at the beginning of his career was the most spectacular defensive shortstop in the league. His defense has fallen off as he's gotten older. But yeah, if I could have prime Andrelton Simmons as a shortstop in a lineup, I'd take it just for the defense. Some of the ridiculous plays he made were eye-popping, to say the least. So Andrelton Simmons, my choice for shortstop. All right, for left field, there's been a lot of Braves outfielders over the years that could be put in this spot. My favorite that I wanted to put in here was Ron Gant. Ron Gant was my favorite Braves back in the, early 90s Braves teams. I loved Ron Gant. Other outfielders, David Justice, although he played right field. Gary Sheffield had a good season. Adam Duvall's been solid the past 2 years. But for left field, I'm going to go with the young phenom, Ronald Acuna Jr. Because, I just think he just has the skill set that you'd love to have, the speed, the power. It's all there. It was terrible to see him go down with that knee injury last year. It was bad to watch the World Series and the Braves won the World Series without Ronald Acuna Jr. But if you think about it, if Acuna doesn't get hurt, the Braves probably don't pick up Rosario or Soler or Jock Peterson. I mean, some of those guys probably wouldn't be there, and they were key components in the Braves postseason run. So if Acuna didn't get injured, you might not have seen those players. But yeah, I mean, Acuna won Rookie of the Year, already a 2-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger. I think he's only 24 years old, still super young. A lot of pop in his bat. He's got 50 home run potential. We'll see how the knee injury affects his speed. He made a 40-40 run one season, didn't quite make it there. But so far is a perennial 30-30 guy, or has the potential to be a 30-30 guy if he could stay healthy. He's been bitten by the injury bug a few times, but a very exciting young player and one of the top, excitable young players in the league. So Ronald Acuna Jr. is my choice for left field. Center field, I think there's only one choice for this one, and it's somebody that should be in the Hall of Fame. And if the first thing that popped in your head was Dale Murphy, you are incorrect. I am talking about Andrew Jones, arguably one of the greatest center fielders of all time defensively. To watch him patrol center field as a Braves fan for so many years was such an honor. He wasn't no slouch with the bat either. He had a lot of pop in his bat, hit over 400 career home runs, but struck out a lot too. But in the outfield, I've never seen a center fielder with my living eyes that was that good. I hear Willie Mays was a great, amazing center fielder, and there's a few highlights of Willie Mays out there. But Andrew Jones was just the way he played center field. He always seemed to be moving at the swing of the bat. Like he had this sixth sense of where the ball was going to go. So there was plays that he would make that would just look routine. And there would be gappers, and you would see the batters like have this look on their face like, how did he get to that? Because he wasn't positioned there and want to hit the ball. and it was going towards the gap, but then all of a sudden he just kind of, floats over and makes the catch, and he's already run, 100 feet or however many feet over to. His first step was so instinctual. He didn't have to make the spectacular diving play half the time because he was just there. He would get to so many balls that, most center fielders wouldn't even get to. But yeah, Andrew Jones, 5-time All-Star, 10-time Gold Glove winner, over 400 home runs, Hall of Famer in my book, and my pick for center field. The last player, right field, could be Dale Murphy, but it's not Dale Murphy. Sorry, Murph, but you are not on my list. Yeah, there's no lead up to this one. If you could pick one Braves player to be in your lineup, regardless of position, who would it be? And of course, that's Hammer and Hank Aaron, who is my pick for right field. Hammer and Hank Aaron, in my mind, still the home run king. All due respect to Barry Bonds. I think Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. I consider Barry Bonds a Hall of Famer. But however, I do not consider Barry Bonds the home run king, mainly because of the BED's extending careers. But it is what it is. It's kind of weird to have that opinion. But yeah, Hank Aaron, MVP, won MVP only 1 year, 3-time Gold Glover, Hall of Famer, 3,000 hits, 755 home runs. What can you say? I mean, you're going to have that bat in your lineup. The dude can swing the lumber. And it wasn't just, power and strikeouts. The dude was hitting the ball hard all over the field. From what I've seen, was a solid right fielder. I mean, 3 Gold Gloves speaks for itself. I think, his defense fell off as he got into his late 30s, but what player's defense doesn't fall off in late 30s? But yeah, that one's just a given. Right field, Hank Aaron. So yeah, that's my my 9-person lineup. RJ collects sets 1 to 10 players, so I'll add a DH to this. And the DH was the third baseman. That was a hard choice for me, which of course is Eddie Matthews. Eddie Matthews, Hall of Famer, 500 home runs in his career, 12-time All-Star. Him and Hank Aaron formed the core of the Braves for quite a few years. Led them to a world championship back in the 50s, I recall. Either way, don't quote me on that. But yeah, Eddie Matthews is my 10th player, my DH for this lineup. Yeah, so that is my Braves lineup and my video response for RJ Collects Sets. Once again, check out the link in the description. Head over to RJ Collects Sets channel, watch the video, and definitely drop him a sub. If you want to make a video and enter the contest, I believe it ends on the 12th. So you got a few more days to get that in. But yeah, I appreciate everybody watching. Remember, you can only control 2 things. That's your thoughts and your actions. So stay positive. Keep ripping them packs. Keep collecting cards. And don't let the eBay comps determine your fun in the hobby. And I'll catch you all later. Peace.